And we are live. Hello, hello, hello. Thank you very much to those of you that have tuned in so far. It is great to be with I'll leave it like that for now. It's great to be back. It's great to be back. How are you all doing? Let me load up my screen a second. There we go. Yeah, how are we all? How are we all doing? Welcome back to another stream. Of course, we haven't had stream since Wednesday, so it's great to see you all. I am just gonna go and tweet it out. But yeah, it's great to be back. To those of you, obviously, that are here, I've missed you dearly. I've missed you dearly. Right, let's get this going. Okay, just pulling up this, and then yeah, we will be on with it. There we go. Okay, so there we go. We are live. Yeah, thank you very much for joining. And yeah, how are we all doing? What's everyone's thoughts on the market? Very interesting spot, isn't it? Very, very, very interesting spot coming in. I mean, where do we start? I suppose, obviously, the natural place to start is with the weekend price action, isn't it? Again. So we had another weekend of a very quiet Saturday, didn't we? If you have a look back here, we had that last week. And then, of course, we had it then reflect again into this Saturday. So the trend has started, and you can see it here again, Saturday into Monday again. You know, it's no coincidence. There you go. Kind of this Saturday PA, and then into Sunday and into Monday. So the trend at the moment, aside from obviously the actual directional trend, the trend is that we get minimal movement on a Saturday, price really compresses, and then we get a volatile move on Sunday. Now, if we obviously have a look, the last couple of times has been a bit of a mixture, really. So if we look at the Sunday 2 weeks ago, we had a push up originally, pushed up higher, and then slammed it back down. The last week was a little bit different. We actually got the drop first, and then the rally back up. And then, of course, yesterday, we just got a straight drop, didn't we? So the theme at the moment is definitely that we rally or drop on Sundays, and Saturdays are obviously quite boring. So obviously, if you are doing some Christmas shopping, you know, over there's only one weekend now, isn't there? There's only next weekend before Christmas. So if you are doing anything next weekend, you know, around Christmas time, be glad that you can do it on a Saturday, because at the moment it looks like, you know, we're getting very minimal movement and very minimal volatility on a Saturday, and then Sunday is obviously where the juice is coming. Who have we actually got in the chat then? We've got ICT, of course. We've got Steve-O in the chat, and then we've got Nick. Hello, Nick. How we doing, mate? Great to see you. No doubt Nick will remind me about the poll if I forget. Let me just fix this. There we go, because my camera wasn't deciding to move when I was asking it to. So I just had to go ahead and do it anyway. But yeah, apart from that, obviously, yeah, you know, looking at Bitcoin's weekend movement, we did have a good snap back up, didn't we, overnight? So we had a really good snap back up. And if I just find my mouse is here. Yeah, we had a good snap back up. Obviously, this was, you know, strong bleed on Sunday. And then, yeah, a good snap back up early hours today in Asia market. And then we've just laid flat. Now, I don't know if anyone obviously noticed this as a trend, but typically we get a very quiet daytime session, London session, when Asia has had a big move. So obviously you can see here, obviously Asia, big move, Asian market, and then obviously London settles off, and then London comes in, and then obviously just sideways. So it's definitely preparing for US Open, that's for sure. I need to go and just tweet. I need to go and tweet it out, actually. I forgot to do that. So let me go and do that now. Let me go and get that done. And then we'll carry on with the stream. But yeah, let me know. Obviously, what are your guys' thoughts at the moment? It doesn't look like, for the time being, that we're actually going to get any sort of big volatile move going into Christmas. It looks like we're just going to kind of maybe hang around this area. So let me just see. Get these tweeted out, and then we'll be on our way. But yeah, let me know in the chat. I want to know what your guys' thoughts are. I think most people was expecting a big, another big volatile move, wasn't they? Going into Christmas and New Year, but it maybe, it might be the case we're going to the New Year quite flat. Right, there we go. So there's that. Forgot to buy viewers today. Buy viewers, mate. If I was buying viewers, I would expect a lot more than I would expect a lot more viewers than what I get if I was buying them. That's for sure. So no, I haven't forgot to do that, because if I was doing that, I would I'd be very upset with the performance. Right, there we go. Let me just do that. Okay. Right, we're coming back on to the screen now. I do want to check out the CME gap next. We'll check out the CME gap straight away, because obviously yesterday we had a good CME gap open. I want to see how much of that is filled. There we go. Right. So let's go and check the CME gap. Hello, Barros. How are we doing? Let's have some fun. We're always having fun, mate. Right. So it looks like actually did we marginally leave some open? Let's see. Or did we fully? No. Yeah. Ever so slightly. I mean, I don't know whether that's even worth paying attention to be honest. Is that even worth paying attention to? But I mean, if you want to work, with absolutes and like facts and certainties, we actually didn't fill the gap, but we did mostly fill it. So I don't know whether you would even consider that still being a gap open. But I mean, if you want to work it technically there is still the slightest of gaps open. Like ever so slight. You can see obviously here, this is where we closed on Friday. Oh, hang on. And this is obviously where we got back up to today. So technically speaking, we do have a gap open, but then obviously compared to the gap where it was when it first opened, which was this, it's obviously pretty much like 95% filled, isn't it? But if you want to work, technically we do have a gap open, yeah. So there's the smallest, like $100 CME gap left behind from that. Now what's interesting is we are getting some really good strength in Sol and ETH coming in. I mean, you look at that, up nearly 3% today. The Solana range itself, I think, is one of the cleanest that we've got out of all of them, because this is put in basically. But when you think about a trading range, and you think about obviously price just hitting support and resistance constantly, it's all you typically get places where it'll front run it and maybe not go all the way there, or it'll spend time maybe in one upper part. But when you actually look at the Solana range, this has been constantly. I mean, even a point down to here, that basically come back into here, and it basically come back into there. Even though on the actual daily bodies, it doesn't look like it. But in terms of price movement, that was basically support to resistance itself again. You playing any PC games lately? Haven't been. No, do you know what? I'm the same. I haven't been a gamer for a good long time. Now, I have been thinking about buying a Nintendo Switch. Not to play on the TV, to play handheld. I have been thinking about doing that. What's this? Yeah, I have been thinking about doing that, but apart from that, no. I mean, I haven't been a gamer for many years now. Would you take? So Colin has asked if I'd take a look at Aether. Let's see. So this is this one. That's on Coinbase. Oh wait, I've already got it on here. I've looked at this at some point. Or ACH. Oh dear God. I think the biggest problem with something like this, Colin. I think the biggest problem with something like this is there is literally just nothing to go on. You know, there's no price action down here. There is nothing. I mean, and you look at that. I mean, that is brutal, isn't it? That is literally since the end of September, it has had one green week, and it didn't even give a recovery, did it? That just basically stayed where it was. I think something like this, if you're looking at a recovery, it's basically kind of like a lottery ticket, because you just don't know. There's nothing to judge, is there? It's not like we have some price action down here where we can say, well, you know, at least here, or if it goes down a little bit further, it could come into support. There is literally nothing here. There's literally nothing. There's nothing down here at all. So it's basically like a bit like a lottery ticket. You're basically just hoping, aren't you? You're hoping that it'll come through. But something like this, I mean, you just don't. You know, it could stop selling maybe any time around here, or it could also just keep drifting down. But I would say it's pretty much like a lottery ticket. ICT says ran a Nintendo and wants to call himself. I would never call myself a gamer. I would never call myself a gamer now. Even if I was playing Nintendo Switch games or whatever, I wouldn't call myself a gamer. Yeah, I don't know what's so funny. I've no interest in trying to be a hardcore gamer. I've no interest in it. I mean, if I feel like picking something up to play an hour a day or a couple times a week, it's none of your business what I do, is it, ICT? But I've no interest in trying to live up to the word gamer. I don't have the time or the interest, but I have been thinking about just getting something just to kind of pass the time and just obviously fill some gaps. Hello, Wiz, mate. How are you doing? Great to see you. Thanks. It looks like a strong project. Big money raised and strong volume. Yeah, I have no idea about it, I'll be honest. So obviously you give a bit of backing on the fundamentals there, a bit of background on it. Yeah, I don't know. I really don't know. But in terms of, they're the fundamental side, aren't they? In terms of the price action side and the technicals, it looks to me like a lottery ticket. Damien, hello. Not seen you in a while, have we? I don't think I've seen you in a good long while. Wiz bought a node for 1.7 ETH. Horrendous, but rid of it now. I don't even know what it is. I don't even know what it is. I have no idea what it is. But yeah, how are we doing, Wiz? Great to see you, mate. Yeah, I mean, Bitcoin's looking a bit... It's been a while. It has, mate. It must have been a long while. I mean, yeah, Bitcoin's looking interesting. What I think... The main thing is... You look at it yesterday, and to be fair, when you look at it on the daily, it looks like we've just put in a liquidity sweep, and a swing failure pattern there. So when you look at it on the daily, it looks like all we've done is come and clear that low and then bounced. And I think unless you are day trading Bitcoin, unless you're doing some scalping, or unless, you know, you've marked out a kind of strict range from in and around here, you know, from kind of the start of December onwards, or you are obviously just following the Stonksy momentum in the market with the background color changes and the other features. Unless you're doing any of them things, what I would say is this is just carrying on to chop people up. So I think what's evident now is this is the wider range, isn't it? So this is kind of like the bigger range for Bitcoin. This is like the quote unquote high time frame. It's not a massive high time frame because, you know, we're only going back like a month. But in terms of looking at the daily, that is the range where when you actually go into, say, the 4 hour or the 1 hour now, this is the range on that time frame, because this is where we've been pinned in for basically all of December. So obviously here is resistance alongside the high time frame one, and obviously here is support. So yeah, unless you're using Stonksy to obviously play the momentum shifts in the market and the shifts in trend, or, you know, you're simply analysing it for yourself and going, right, you know, this is it. People will just carry on getting chopped up here. What we know is at some point this will resolve. This will resolve itself, and it seems like it's never going to happen. But obviously one day, whenever it comes, we will either break to the upside, or we'll come and test this down here, and then that will either lead to a bounce back up, or, you know, we'll come down for this wick. At the moment, it seems impossible because it's obviously price is just compressing, and volatility, although low time frame volatility is still there. You know, you could see that yesterday. You could see that obviously following on to early this morning as well with Asia session. Although the low time frame volatility is still there, when you zoom out to the daily and you look at it on a higher time frame, the volatility is drying up in terms of that aspect, which is obviously good because it tells us at some point in the near future, really, you know, we should get an expansive move. You know, if you look at this is obviously, you know, a 10, 11, 12% range. And then, of course, this one that it's just, you know, it's kind of forming now is even smaller, you know, a 6, 7% range. So it's quite a small range for Bitcoin to be moving within. With a blockchain node or a PC hardware one? It says ICT. That is a question for Wiz. I mean, on ETH side, nothing really much to say on ETH. Strength remains there, although we did fall off a little bit. You know, Thursday, Friday, we obviously had expansion and then fall off. But what you would say is, if you look at it from just a charting point of view, we did come out for kind of like some form of SR test there on ETH Bitcoin, didn't we? Now, obviously, this is where resistance had come in all throughout November, start of December, and then we actually, you know, we broke out, come back down, test and bounce. So I think in terms of ETH Bitcoin, although we got a retrace on it, you know, late last week, I think it's actually looking quite good now. It's had that SR test for carrying on strength, and you can see obviously it's 1% up against it today. But ETH itself, you know, where is the big test? This is the big test here. We still haven't approached it like Bitcoin. You know, we still haven't got to see anything major. And Solana, you know, like we just covered, still stuck in this range. But by far, for me anyway, Solana has the cleanest range in terms of if you're looking to trade it, support to resistance. We are getting quite obviously mature in this range. You know, it's a 1 month range now, so we are quite compact for like a $20 range on Solana. So you may not be lucky enough to actually be able to rinse this even more. But if you have been trading this over the past few weeks, you know, you'll have been milking it because it has literally just been ping pong, ping pong, ping pong. Yeah, mate, yeah, absolutely. I will fire you the link now. Hang on. I'll fire you the link. Fire you the link on Telegram. Yeah, mate, it'd be great to have you on. You guys think we'll hit lows today? On Mondays always hits. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. I mean, when you look at it, when you look at Bitcoin, we are obviously testing what is this low time frame demand now in this range here. So we should, in theory, we should bounce here back up towards for a test of yearly open this week. If we fall below, then I'll be watching kind of 84k again. What do you think we see Bitcoin before June 26th, up or down? Bloody hell. I mean, I don't really like them types of questions, I'll be honest, because I've never been one to kind of speculate on Bitcoin's going to be here by this date and it's going to be here by this date or whatever. But what I would do, ICT, is I would just draw your attention to these levels. Like a couple of weeks ago, I mapped out my key low time frame and high time frame levels on Bitcoin for the next kind of couple months and into next year as well. So orange is obviously immediate levels. Orange is immediate levels, ones that we could hit very easily. And then the white ones are kind of higher time frame. Now you could put this one as an orange one for sure. We'll put that in orange actually, yeah. So there's two up and then three up, two down. But yeah, I mean, I don't try and speculate because anything can happen. I mean, there's so many variables on it. What position is the stock market in come June 26th? Is the stock market carrying on into new highs all next year? Is the stock market going to correct? Perhaps. There's so many questions you don't know the answer to over the next 7 months to answer that. But so I've never really been one to judge that and say, Bitcoin's going to go to 1 million by this date or go to 500,000 by this date or whatever. I simply just let the levels be my guide. And obviously, I know if we break above this point here, then we'll be going to new highs. If we break, obviously, any of the levels to the downside, I've kind of got areas of interest where I'd be looking to the downside as well. So that's what I would say in response to that. It may not be the funnest response because you probably want me to say Bitcoin will be at 200k in June 2026. But for me, it's just like, it's kind of baseless, isn't it? Because I'm just picking a number and I'm just picking a date and I'm just telling you. If you was to ask me why, and you ask, these people, don't you, that obviously say these things, they do give good reasons. But for me, I'm just not interested in doing it. Hello, mate. You're on mute.
Hello. My camera's a bit weird, isn't it? Does it look weird?
It's kind of zoomed in. It kind of done what mine does, where it zooms in.
Ooh, I don't like that.
Barros says if it breaks 90k at 4-hour time frame, we'll go up 93. Let's see.
That's better. I think. Is that better? That feels less zoomed in.
Yeah.
It's
that's
very zoomed in. It's the pixel. What we're looking at, Bitcoin.
So Barros says, if we break 90k at the 4-hour time frame, would we go to 93? So what I would be watching for Barros before even thinking about any of that would be the potential for a liquidity sweep here, because this is where the weekend build-up is. So obviously, you can see Friday here, and then flat for the rest of Friday, Saturday flat, and then we dropped. So what we do know is just by looking at that, just by looking at where that price action was for the rest of Friday into Saturday and obviously Sunday in today's price action, is that we haven't had a liquidation of the upside. So what I would be watching for more so is what happens if we liquidate the upside. Do we then start to begin pushing with strength back to 93? Or do we liquidate the upside and maybe come back down to somewhere? Do we just carry on ranging? I would be more interested in what Bitcoin does once we liquidate that upside from the weekend and then go from there. So if we liquidate that and it carries on grinding, it carries on pushing, then I'd probably be looking up to here and then obviously an ultimate test of this resistance too. But, if we liquidate that and drop back below, then I'd just call that liquidity sweep, and then you just obviously be looking for Bitcoin to maybe carry on consolidating, maybe drop down to somewhere. That would be my view. What you thinking, Wiz?
So I'm currently in a long, although I'd taken a little bit of profit. It was, it's not the best, is it? The market seems to turn a little bit as well, which doesn't help. Yeah, I'm not sure whether or not we see a Santa rally. There's just no juice in the market, and interestingly, I kind of wish I'd had a little short, but we seem to take a run up into zoomed in again, and we seem to have a nice run up to US Open, and then US Open just seems to be relentless sell pressure.
Yeah,
which I don't know. We're just chopping, and I don't see where the momentum is coming imminently. Yeah, that's sort of where I see it. I've not really got too much interest in trading it outside of the range. I've been more focused on Solana's been a bit more fun to trade. I'm long on Solana. I had a long order at 128 that got clipped yesterday.
Oh, very nice.
So, but there's some, there's more. I think equities are very much on my list, which I've got a little bit of. I don't want to spoil anything, but obviously I've got a write up for a stock that I quite like in the newsletter tomorrow. Which, if you give this streamer a like, I might go through a little bit of it on this stream. But if not, I'll save that one for the newsletter.
Yeah, I think that's it, innit? I think that, there's no guarantees that we get a big volatile move before the end of the year, especially now. Because you've got to remember as well is a lot of the big players will start winding down. A couple of days before Christmas. Maybe even after this week. Obviously Christmas is a week on Thursday, isn't it? So
yeah.
After this week, you could see a lot of the big players start winding down. So there's not really a lot of time left for Bitcoin to actually do anything. It may be the case of they go after one side again. So obviously, if we're looking at it on the 4 hour, it may be a case, just one more wreckage before Christmas, perhaps, if it's not going to break out, where we come up, grab that, and maybe even grab that, and then it gets slammed back down, or obviously same to the downside. Maybe we come back down for that. Maybe even we come down for that.
Yeah,
there is the potential for that, but I don't think we're going to get any sort of like shift in the trend to the point where Bitcoin starts rallying, or even dropping. I mean, it wouldn't make sense for me because obviously, a lot of the big people are going to be winding down for over Christmas. So if anything, I'd be looking for kind of like a liquidation, a scam move, if you will, of one side or the other, rather than breaking out and then that confirms a breakout and then starts to push to 100k or above over Christmas into the new year. I think it's more likely we just stick where we are, I think, and then maybe we get a liquidation or a scam move. Again, it's not financial advice. It's definitely not a certainty. We could break out, but I think it's a bit late in the year and definitely a bit late in December for that to start happening.
There's no volume in the market to do it, but it's fun to trade at the minute. I'm having a little bit of fun trading it, and to be honest, some assets are moving better than others. As I mentioned this morning, though, the one thing, having discovered that about Prime, so on Prime XBT, if you fund your account with Bitcoin, you can Bitcoin, Solana, Ethereum, whatever. You can trade any commodity, any of the commodities, any of the stocks, any of the cryptos, any of the FX, etc. You can trade it and use the Bitcoin and Solana or whatever you put in as collateral, and you make your profits in that. So it feels like coin margin but on steroids. So you can basically just stack Bitcoin by trading something that's moving a little bit more trade friendly.
Yeah.
Which I think, Dave, you've got a link for Prime XBT, haven't you?
Yeah, it should be in the description.
Go check out Prime XBT. Prime XBT and you can deposit Bitcoin, Solana, Ethereum, and just trade any assets and make Bitcoin, Solana, Ethereum. So you can basically stack your Bitcoin by trading things other than Bitcoin.
Yeah. Go and check that link out in the description, everyone, to take that up.
Which I thought that was pretty cool. Yeah.
My question is, like, before June, what do you think Will it be up to, let's say, 150k or down to 60, 70k maybe?
Go on, get your crystal ball out, Dave.
I mean,
I-
if I had a gun to my head, I would probably, I mean, June.
I think we do have a big move before then. I genuinely think
we'll have
we've got a big move before then.
But I think it's probably more likely.
Like the 120.
If it was one or the other, I would probably say it's more likely that we visit the downside ones of them than 150, in my personal opinion. I don't obviously you don't know that for a fact, but in my personal opinion, yeah, I think it's probably more likely we visit the downside rather than the upside. But again, I could be wrong. Who knows? You could visit both, but I think which one would come first? I think the downside would come first if we in the snow we was going to get both of them. Again, just what do you think, Wes?
I think we have some downside. I actually think we move really high next year. Yeah, I think so. If I had to hang my hat, truthfully, I think it's probably more downside. But putting my bullish pants on, I think we see some upside by then. I think we might see those numbers before June, but then by June we might see higher. Is how I view it. But all depends, because obviously we're seeing a little bit of a pullback on. I say a little bit of a pullback. Equities look horrendous this morning. But yeah, I think we're pretty much at that point. But there's a lot of bullish catalysts. I think there's just some headwinds to navigate first. Obviously, Japan's central bank is poised to put interest rates up this week, which will be, I'm sure, lead to an increase of the unwinding if they haven't unwound already. I'm trying to be bullish, and I feel a little bit bullish, so I'm gonna go with that vibe. But I think there's some good opportunities to certainly trade. I mean, we've spoken about it before. The range trading isn't. I know this is relentless chop, so anyone who's holding a moon bag isn't having a particularly fun time. But as a trader, if you're active and you're watching these streams and you're in the Discord, etc., and you're active in there, the chop is quite profitable to trade. I've been doing quite well because you know pretty much where you've got good opportunities short, and you know where you've got pretty good opportunity to long.
Yeah,
like 144 on Solana is. If you had a short order on 144 on Solana, as I've been mentioning in the videos for the last couple of weeks, like we've rejected off there. We've rejected off there 4 times. Like you can just rinse and repeat the same setups.
It's been perfect ping pong, hasn't it? You know, you buy anywhere down towards 130, and you sell up towards 144. Obviously, not financial advice. Just looking at financial
advice.
Don't go and do that based on what because obviously you only get so long to rinse them types of moves. Do you know what I mean? It will only stay like that because. Like we said, it's the gift that keeps on giving at the moment for anyone trading it. You know, literally, it's just been constant rewards for shorting resistance and longing support.
It feels like bear market trading, and in all honesty, bear markets are. I don't like saying easier because trading isn't easy, but bear markets are present more tradable patterns. Because you just tend to have these things that move between levels and they move between SR quite cleanly. You don't have the big, massive, impulsive moves that will liquidate both sides. You tend to just get then the occasional drop down.
Range trading, innit? Range trading is just so easy. We've got Desperados in the chat. Nice to see you, mate. Waiting already had a couple of weeks to buy the next dump. Mate, it's great to see you. Thank you very much for jumping in. Obviously, for everyone that has jumped in, make sure you drop a like on the stream. ICC says, imagine it's 24th of December, 3 p.m. and Bitcoin falls 19% single candle. I mean, that would be that would be pretty crazy, wouldn't it? That would be pretty crazy. ICC loves your accent. Your accent, Wiz.
Bear market. I don't think I've got a particularly odd accent. Yeah, Dave's is a little bit more distinctive, but I'd say mine is just a relatively
I think
nondescript accent.
I wonder what ICT sounds like. Oh, that would be fascinating. That would. Dave wrote character. What do you mean? The thing is, I actually don't even put a character on here. Like there is no sort of character. That is like an actual certainty. There is no character. This is actually me. And the same for Wiz as well. Same for Wiz. But yeah, obviously do make sure you drop a like. And yeah, let's carry on. So obviously, yeah, there's Bitcoin. We've covered Sol, ETH. What else has been happening? Hype is really struggling, isn't it?
Yeah, they're launching I saw some ETF news on it. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of the volume's dropped off. It's a bit more competitive because everyone seems to be launching their own perp decks now, and they've not looked. I think one thing that's costing them is they've not mentioned anything about a season 2 airdrop.
Well, I've seen that EdgeX, is it? EdgeX?
Yeah.
I'd overtaken it in terms of revenue.
These things will just keep popping up. These things will just keep popping up. You just get a new one each time.
I saw someone tweet it about obviously the revenue thing, and Pump Fund was at $900,000 of revenue for that day. Which is like crazy, isn't it? Like you wouldn't even. It was above Hyperliquid. It was above that EdgeX. I didn't even think that really Pump Fund was still being mass used like that. But
unless they're still getting fees put through from graduated coins coming back. Probably. So things like obviously Fartcoin had a run, and if there's and Fartcoin was one of the graduates, so if Fartcoin does okay, it might be that there's certain volume fees that come back to it.
Yeah.
Wiz say a bottle of water.
Don't give him what he wants, mate. Don't give him what he wants.
Is this the guy who boils chicken?
Yes.
Oh.
Yes. This is that guy. But yeah, I mean, in terms of equities, so we've got obviously in futures, we've got the S&P up 0.47%. Quite a nasty drop off, didn't it, on Friday? Nasty drop off, but it is not. Did it make it? Is that a new high for it? It is, isn't it?
Yeah.
Did it made a new high on Friday? I didn't even notice that.
Yeah.
Did it? Yeah, it did, didn't it? Just
yeah.
I didn't even know it made an all-time high, but yeah, there we go. So obviously, yeah, the S&P.
It's pretty nuts, isn't it? It's just relentless, and that's with the Mag 7 obviously having their pull down.
Yeah, I mean, you look at Nvidia. I mean, the thing about Nvidia is obviously it's not there yet, but I know you've been playing this bit, haven't you? But the closer it gets to kind of 170 is obviously where demand is.
How much does it still pay you that you didn't short it at 200?
Oh, yeah. To be fair, yeah, I mean that was it was literally like there. It was that candle. I remember it. That was the candle when it went up to like 210, 211, 212. That was the candle. I was staring at it. Pain.
Yeah.
Pain.
I'll spoil it a little bit. So the one I've got my eye on, I think I mentioned it on the town hall anyway, but I'll cover in more detail. It's Uber. I think Uber sits in a really, really nice spot.
Okay.
I'm not sure if you've looked at it recently. No, it's not even on your list.
No, Uber. Let's see. Let's have a little high time frame view on it. Oh, okay. Yeah, so it's kind of like back into that weekly SR, innit? If you have a look there, kind of like, yeah, you can pull that all across there, can't you? Yeah. So yeah, it's not one really. I'll be honest, I've ever really looked at, but I mean that you look at that as well, don't you? I mean, within a couple of years, that done a 5x. So
what's going on with Asta? Let's have a look. Oh, there's a lot of green in my altcoin watch list.
Is there?
I can't wait for this to get. Oh,
Let's see.
I'm just looking through the big numbers. Gunzilla. Have you been following that?
No.
Gunzilla is up another 27% today.
So I mean, Asta is at demand at the moment. Ooh, sorry. Yeah, Asta is at demand at the moment, but obviously you do have these areas here to the downside, don't you? You know, you've got kind of this area here, and then that was obviously that was the low that it put in. I think the problem with Asta at the moment is there is no kind of like there's no kind of hype around it or anything, is there? Like if there's any hype that's brought to it, it's obviously brought by CZ himself. I think that's kind of the problem with Asta. Is that if there's any hype around it, it's kind of brought by CZ and nothing else. Like,
well, no one's using the platform.
No, like you've not got them listing any of the stuff that what's this?
You seen Pippin? That one on your list, Dave.
I think someone got me to have a look at that. Yeah, I feel like this is down here somewhere. Yeah,
there. Look at the state of it.
Oh. So someone got me to have a look at this, and it must have only done this or something. That is crazy. That has been walked up a lot, hasn't it?
I can't wait to shot. When the time comes, that'll be a good shot.
I'll tell you what, though, at the moment, if you were looking at it at the moment, the risk reward there. Again, it's not financial advice. Don't do this based on, obviously, anything I'm saying. Just looking at the chart. But when you actually look at the chart, obviously, you could say, that looks like distribution. And then is that just obviously liquidation of upside? You know, it's took out all the upside and then dropped back down. That's not a very nice 4-hour candle that's forming at the moment. Obviously, with still 2 hours to go. But you could definitely build some ground for having a short there if you wanted to. Again, in your view, not financial advice, but you could definitely, and obviously your argument would be, you think that that's potential distribution. There's your liquidation of the upside while in distribution, and obviously come back down. So then, your invalidation is wherever you want to put it, but obviously, yeah. I think from where it's at the moment, you could build a good thesis as long as you've got your risk managed, and obviously you've got a good point for your stop from whatever you want. But I mean, something like this, it's got the same fate on it. I mean, I imagine it's got the same fate as everything else that we've seen. At some point, it will pop and it will go, bing.
The other one, and it's annoying because it caught my eye a little bit last week when it had a nice move, is Gunzilla. GUNUSD. Because they raised a lot of money. They raised a lot of money.
Oh, wow, look at that.
Look at that Stonksy arrow.
Yeah.
So it's a game. It's a game, but they raised a lot of money.
Oh, look at that. I mean, yeah, that would have been a good buy. That's a 2x off the floor, isn't it? I mean, that thing is, that dropped hard.
Destroyed.
In your word, brutalized. I mean,
brutalized.
Even from kind of the middle there, it went down 80%. Yeah, that has been. I tell you what, though, I mean, something we've not seen really yet this cycle is a GameFi kind of season, isn't it? Like we've not really seen anything to do with gaming or GameFi. Or maybe could something spark? I don't know. I mean, what's it on? Is it on Solana? I'm guessing.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, see, that sounds right. This thing is outrageous, isn't it?
Oh, it's so
I cannot believe the state of this.
But the thing is, full well at some point that's going to have the most brutally big candle upwards.
But this is obviously someone was asking me, Colin in the chat, I don't know if he's still here, was asking me about obviously this ACH thing before. And this is the danger you have with things like this that go into negative price discovery.
Yeah.
Because
people don't want their money out of that.
Yeah, because you just want, you keep looking for a bottom, and you're hopeful that it comes and then it goes lower, and you're hopeful that it's the bottom, bounces and then goes lower. I mean, you talk about a Santa rally. This is the staircase to hell. Never mind Santa Rally. You know, that's the staircase to hell. That, I mean, that is literally just being walked down to a ridiculous drawdown from obviously where it spiked up to.
Absolutely,
If
absolutely horrendous.
Yeah, I think if anything, you kind of point towards the only area of interest I could possibly draw on that chart would be the bottom of the launch candle, which on the Binance chart is 10 cents. That's literally it. Apart from that, you're just guessing and you're hoping, aren't you? It's like you're literally just praying that the bottom comes in. Jelly. Yeah, I saw that Jelly was ripping yesterday.
I've done well off that one. I've not been in it again, but I've got a friend who I call him my momentum indicator, but he tends to just go like really long into stuff that begins to push up. He made a lot on Jelly. He's been talking about Pippin for ages. He caught MYX at 40 cents.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, I mean, this thing is just the bet. Obviously not advice, but this thing, whenever this thing's on the floor, just do a little DCA, buy some, and then just set a sell order for when it goes. Because someone just buys it up, pumps it, sells it all, and that it's just a rinse and repeat.
And obviously, you know, if you were looking for something like that, you'd just be looking for these elongated places where it, you know, where it consolidates. You obviously don't want to be rushing into it. You kind of wait for the point where you're like, at least you know kind of where your risk lies, because you know you don't want to hold it down to zero if this just never pumps again. But when it builds kind of these, you know, these accumulation ranges, you know, you can definitely outline your risk reward for sure. I mean, yeah,
whoever's market making it as well, I will say, they do quite a good job, because it's very hard to build a leverage position on it, because they just repeatedly take out both sides.
Where's Stonksy gone off my chart?
No,
I don't know where it's gone. Whack it back on anyway. I'm just gonna nip to the toilet. Wiz, are you staying or are you going?
I've got to drop off to film something, but pleasure as always. Mate. And if you haven't already, subscribe to the newsletter. I'll drop some Uber stuff in there tomorrow. Go and go and join Stonksy Discord. Go and join Crypto Saving Expert, and we can all make some nice money trading the markets in the shop. So see you later.
Thanks, Wiz, mate. Catch you later.
Bye.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go to the toilet, everyone. So I'll be back in a minute. Don't go anywhere. Right, we are back. We got Jeff, mate. How we doing? Haven't seen you in a while. How we doing, Jeff? And we have our good friend. YouTube does this thing now where it brings up the usernames instead of your display name. Mate, you come in the streams all the time as well, and because it's showing me your username instead of your display name, I can't remember your name. No, mate, I was just off the toilet. Just off the toilet. But yeah, we do have US Open coming in 25 minutes. So RN, mate. Yeah, there you go. I don't know how I forgot. It's YouTube. It messes me up. It messes me up now because it shows me the username instead of people's display name. So unless it's kind of the same, it puts a different name in my head, and then it just goes blank. But yeah. So that's what we're up to. But yeah, we've got US Open coming in 25 minutes. I mean, overall, we're kind of just steady, aren't we? Even though MSTR again, not really much change. Even though we had obviously the drop down yesterday, we're not too far away. We spent basically all weekend all of Saturday into Sunday, and obviously late Friday, basically in and around 90k. So we're not even too far away from where we was. We're not too far away at all. But yeah, I think in terms of everything else, it's just kind of, we'll just have to go with it, won't we? We'll just have to go with it. Now, of course, the thumbnail and the title of today's stream was about broken. Now, what am I referring to? What am I referring to here? Let me see. Is it gonna do it? Nope. Let me see if I can pull it up here. If not, I'll just have to pull it up on a new tab, which is fine. There we go. There it is. There you go. So we'll run through a bit of, for anyone that doesn't know, obviously Bitcoin has a trend, and it's nothing to do really with, well, it does have something to do with the chart because obviously price leads into it. But basically, Bitcoin has a trend where since mid 2022, so April, May, and June, there you can see obviously them really bad months. April, May, June, terrible, awful months, wasn't they? Terrible months. That was the last time that we had 3 red months in a row. So you can see obviously red April, red May, red June. From then on, we've only ever had 2 red months in a row. So obviously you can see August, September 22, red, October green. November, December 22, red. January 23, green. Then you can see it again, obviously July, August, 2 red, green. The last time we had 2 red was here, February, March, 2 red this year, green April. We are on course for potentially the first 3 red months in a row since mid-22, which was obviously, in the depths of the bear market, wasn't it? So we could break that trend and obviously put in 3 red months in a row. Although, when you look at it, we're very basically on the yearly open, aren't we? The monthly open. We're only minus 1%, so it may not become that. It may be a fact of, we do close green, which it can very, very easily do. But that is the trend, basically, since for 3.5 years, we've not put in more than 2 red months in a row. Now, the other trend to do with this is that historically, if you have a look, every time November has closed red, December has followed in red. So 2018, red December. 2019, red November, red December. You can see it follows it very nicely. Because obviously when November is green, December is also green as well. So there is the trend with that. Now, obviously, this broke last year. But my main thing of looking at it isn't the matching. It's more of a case of when there is a red November, there is historically a red December as well. But again, we may not get that. And that would obviously be the first time since 2013 where we don't have that trend. RN says, based on your no, it's not. It's not financial advice at all. We're just looking at a trend. Nothing in it, mate. Should be reading the description, shouldn't you? Nothing in this stream is financial advice. Nothing at all. Not even the smidgest amount of it. All educational, entertainment based. So yeah. I know you. The thing is, I know you're joking, but yeah, I can't have something like that pinned on me for anyone who's maybe watching for the first time or whatever. But yeah, Bitcoin itself. I mean, we could get a good open, couldn't we? We could get a good open. Just let me find something. RN says, I think there should be a dip, but maybe Santarelli. I mean, yeah. I don't know. I really don't know where we're going to lie around with stuff like that. I mean, I think we were just obviously for anyone that's just joined, we're discussing this with Wiz because Wiz come on for a little bit early on in the stream, and there isn't really that long left, obviously until Christmas. But you got to remember the big people, you know, obviously the ETF issuers, and then obviously just big people inside crypto as well. They will start winding down probably after this week, I would imagine, and obviously you know they'll be beginning their kind of Christmas holidays. If we actually go back and look, which we can do, I believe the last time we actually got a proper good move last time we got a really good move around Christmas was 2020, I think. Don't hold me to that. We'll obviously find out in a second. Let me just turn that off because that's got the alternative time frame on it now. Yeah, there we go. Right. So the last time I think the last time we got proper movement was 2020 around Christmas. I mean, this is, why is it doing that? I have to click it. This was good. This was a great time. I mean, if you look at that, and what would we do for that now? I mean, look at that. That was all around Christmas. That was all December. Look at that. That was all December. And obviously you can see there's 28th. There's your 21st. So all through Christmas into New Year was just straight green rallying. I don't think we've had anything like that since. Not off my memory anyway. I mean, we'll definitely double check now to make sure I'm not wrong. Obviously, there's 22. We know that that was bad. Sorry, there's 21. That was a drop off. There, you know, that was a drop off there. So that wasn't anything exciting. Although you look at it and you do say, you know, there was some volatility there. You know, Bitcoin actually did. There's the 20th, and during that week, Bitcoin did pump like 10% around Christmas time, and then obviously week after it dropped 10%. So there was actually some volatility there in 2021 as well. And obviously 22, we know that was just completely flat, weren't it? 23, we was completely flat there. So 2021 was 2020 was absolutely fantastic. 2021 was good for volatility. although the price didn't really go anywhere. 2022 and 2023 were duds, just completely nothing. 24 was fantastic, wasn't it? 24 was fantastic. So yeah, you know what? It's actually a bit mixed, isn't it? But then I suppose that was earlier on in December when you actually come towards Christmas time, towards the end of the year. Again, there was some movement, but not great. So let me know, what do you guys think? Make sure as well, if you're watching and you haven't, do make sure you drop a big like, please. I would massively, massively appreciate it. Hello? It is, yeah. Sorry about that. I didn't expect that call to go on so long. I didn't expect that call to go on so long. Yeah. That was just a follow-up that I had to grab. A follow-up from something that I was ringing about this morning. She only wants your Bitcoin. No, it wasn't anything like that. So yeah, back to this, obviously. Yeah. So historically, I was kind of under the impression that we got minimal volatility. Now that's the difference between volatility and trend is obviously the thing that we want to point out here. We have really only ever had a trending Christmas twice, which obviously was on the way up and definitely, on the way down here during this drop. So in terms of volatility, there definitely is volatility there. Going back and actually having a look, there's definitely conditions to trade over Christmas, into New Year as well. But in terms of a trending market since 2020, we had 2020 trend, 2021 trend, obviously one up, one down, and then since then it's basically just been volatility that has been there to trade, not an actual trending market. So yeah, there we go with that. But yeah, we're coming into US Open, so we're not too far away now at all. Does everyone have all their Christmas shopping done? To be honest, mate, I'm not actually doing a lot this year. I'm not actually doing a lot of Christmas shopping at all. Yeah, I'm not really doing much. What about you? What's everyone doing for Christmas? Does anyone have any kind of strange, or not strange, but interesting Christmas routines? What's the word for it? What's the word that you use for it? Not routine. Tradition. That's it. Tradition. Bitcoin price turn you into the cringe. Mate, I've got so much on. Just kind of not really doing presents this year. Yeah, just I've got so much on. Expense wise as well. Yeah. So I'm just kind of not doing. But yeah, what kind of traditions does everyone have? I'll be honest, I don't really have. I don't think that many actual Christmas traditions. But I'm obviously interested to hear if anyone else does. Please do make sure to drop a like as well, because YouTube really is punishing me. YouTube is punishing me big time for obviously changing up my streaming schedule. So if you can drop a like on the stream, it does help me out massively. Yeah, I mean, we're coming into US Open with a potential good move coming. We've had a very, very boring London session, which when you've had a volatile Asia session and then a boring London, you normally do get volatility heading into and throughout US. So we'll see if that trend kind of keeps. Look at XRP under $2. This thing just has never retraced, has it ever? When you actually look at this, this thing has just never gone back and retraced. But this is actually starting to look really interesting now on XRP, because I mean, there is just all that open space, isn't there? There's obviously the wick down there, all this open space towards down here. It looks very weak, doesn't it? It looks very weak. You always have the kids get one gift from Santa and hide it when they go to bed and do a scavenger hunt for them to find it. Oh, mate, nice. Love that. Love stuff like that. Just a tip, if you double click your axes, it will reset its size. Really? What, so if I do that? Oh, it won't. That pulls up the oscillator. Hey, tell you what, since I changed the color on my chart, the oscillator looks beautiful, doesn't it? With the on that. Oh, so say if I go and zoom in like that and I double click that. I don't know, but yeah, I think the oscillator looks beautiful with the purple there, doesn't it? On this blue background that I've got, that looks gorgeous. Honestly, mate, I don't know. I'm not going to complicate it, because if I overcomplicate how I work TradingView, then it's going to mess my whole routine up. But thank you, though. I appreciate it, Aaron. I appreciate it massively. We do actually have as well a little early Christmas present for everyone. Obviously, for anyone that missed the Black Friday sale. If I pull it up slowly. Slowly. Where is it? On here somewhere. Hang on. Oh. Right. Don't know what's going on here. Well, there is 25% off the annual. For anyone that missed the Black Friday one and still wants to join the annual, the discount. I thought the pay, unless I'm clicking the wrong place, I don't know. With code Xmas 25. Let's get ready for US Open anyway. Ooh, heading back now. Is that some absorption there, isn't it? Some absorption. Yeah, I mean, going into this Open, I mean, it'd be great if we did get some volatility. What else? Have we got anything else going on? It's quite quiet time, isn't it? I think you can kind of tell, can't you, that kind of getting a bit of wind down going into Christmas. But we have a good news story here: the UK to regulate crypto like traditional finance by 2027 in sweeping legal overhaul. So the UK plans to bring cryptocurrencies under full financial regulation by 2027, placing crypto firms under FCA oversight in a bid to boost innovation, protect consumers, and cement the UK as a global crypto hub. Well, they are taking the time, aren't they? They keep saying this. They've been saying this for about 4 years already. So new legislation will place them over that, yeah. So we've heard this before, haven't we? We've heard this before. This came out under the Tories in like 2022 as well, that they wanted to make it a crypto hub, and it just went even worse, didn't it? Well, apparently Rachel Reeves, said bringing crypto into the regulatory perimeter is a crucial step in securing the UK's position as a world-leading financial centre in the digital age. She added that the clear rules would give firms the confidence to invest in the UK while locking dodgy actors out of the market. I'll just read that sentence again. Locking dodgy actors out of the market. Interesting. Until now, I don't know if anyone. I don't know if anyone kind of understood what I was doing there in terms of the way I was looking at the camera and stuff. But yeah. Anyway, apparently they're gonna be doing this. I mean, will they? Who knows? Fed chair frontrunner Kevin Hassett says Trump will have no weight over rate decisions. Now, this is interesting because Hassett has been the frontrunner, 70, 80% odds on Polymarket, the whole, for a good long while now, hasn't he? However, Jamie Dimon actually come out over the weekend in support of Kevin. Is he called Walsh or Walsh? Ward. I think he's called Ward, isn't he? Who will Trump nominate? Yeah. So he got a massive spike, and as you can see, yeah, I mean, he has been moving up massively. So Hassett now is only just the front runner. If we actually have a look on the chart, you can see obviously here is Kevin Walsh. And look at that spike, obviously in tandem with them falling down. Now, let's get ready to watch what type of open we're going to get. Are we going to get much? And 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. There we go. We are open. We are open for business. So US market is open. Do make sure you get your likes in. We've got 19 viewers. Thank you very much for those of you that have joined. Initially, we're getting a little bit of a drop. Not much. A little bit of a drop. Obviously, equities doing well today. They've moved up nicely. Did anyone else also miss the fact that what's going on there? What's my mouse doing? What's going on? What? What's going on? What's it doing? Why is it dragging big? Why is it? What is going on here? Sorry about this, folks. You'll be able to see, obviously, on the screen as well that trading view has just completely gone wacko. How do I refresh without going off it? Anyway, the S&P is dropping on open slightly, but yeah, did anyone else miss the fact that the S&P made a new high on Friday? I completely missed it. Right, I don't know what's going on here. Hang on. Let me refresh this, and then I'll get my screen back up. There we go. Boom. Yeah, so I completely missed on Friday the fact that the S&P made a new high. Yeah, gold's been ripping. Is that a new high on gold now? Almost, and it must be, yeah, almost. Not quite, almost. Dropping off now to two pullback hourly candles. Silver having another good day. Obviously, that had a big pullback and then pushed all the way back up. But yeah, Bitcoin is looking like it's heading, and we've got another one of these rounding tops, haven't we? Where it just kind of rounds off and then obviously speeds up back to the downside. But yeah, Bitcoin's dropping off on open. Not too much. Tell you what, this had a great push up as well, didn't it? I mean, this has been slammed, Gemini. Gemini's been slammed, obviously, since its IPO. But this had a 50% run up, didn't it, from Wednesday to Friday? This had Wednesday to Friday, just a massive, massive rally up. Obviously, they are integrating Kalshi, I think. I don't know if that was the whole reason for the move up, or if it was something else as well. But yeah, here we go. So Bitcoin now is kind of hitting the gas to the downside. So accelerating a bit down. I'm guessing this is being brought on by this 5-minute candle on the S&P. See that dirty, horrible 5-minute candle. So I'm guessing that is speeding up, obviously the selling pressure on Bitcoin too. And we are getting close toward 89K. Yeah, drop on open so far anyway. Obviously, we've only had 4 minutes. So it's an initial drop on open. We'll see if that can obviously change. If you have just joined, make sure you do drop a like on the stream. Please do drop a like as well, because we are in YouTube jail at the moment because I've switched up my streaming schedule. So we're in YouTube jail. So obviously you dropping a like does help me out massively. So yeah, thank you very much in advance for doing that. If you are doing, it'd be massively appreciated. Oh. Oh. Get out, mate. I'm trying. It might not. To be fair, it may also just be the market. I mean, you guys that are turning up every single stream, you guys are the real OGs. The real legends. Obviously, anyone that's jumping in, whether you jump in every stream, whether you jump in one a week, even if this is your first stream, the fact that you're still obviously around and showing up to the market, even when times are boring and tough, obviously shows that you're here for the long haul, and in turn, hopefully, should be rewarded for that, for going through the tough times as well. But that's what matters, because you don't want to be one of them people that only comes back when times are good, because obviously, you've missed all the opportunity then, haven't you? And kind of like the volatility and everything. You don't want to be the person that only comes back when times are good, because you miss obviously the good drops and the good opportunities to get discounts. But look at this, so we are ripping back to the upside now. We had a drop basically almost bang on 90k almost, and we have just surged back to the upside. Look at that for a reversal move. So that is just a complete wipeout, isn't it? Just a complete wipeout there. You notice as well, we just kind of come and cleared all this up, didn't we? Low time frame. It's on the 5-minute chart, so really low time frame, come and cleared all that up, and the response was really good. That's a really good response from Bitcoin there. Look at that! What a nice push back up that is. That is a really nice push back up. And there we go, just like that. We was at 89k a minute ago, and we're almost back at 90k. Almost. Do you think the wizard went long? Wiz just filling some of his orders, yeah. Wiz just filling some of his orders. Who knows? This small, yeah, just casually pushing Bitcoin back up with 1,000. I mean, that's a great turn of events in it. I mean, you look at the S&P. Bitcoin had a stronger reaction in the S&P. Obviously, of late, we've seen it the opposite, haven't we? We've seen Bitcoin's reaction not really mirror the S&P's movement in terms of upside movement. But on that one, I mean, yeah, top marks. You know, it retraced the open sell-off and basically all selling pressure up until about 3-4 hours ago. Martin says, "Get your magnet back out, Dave, mate." That was legendary, wasn't it? That was legendary, Martin. That was brilliant. That stream of SMFC. Oh, and we're getting some retrace back down now. We're getting some retrace back to the downside now. Yeah, I think overall we are nicely positioned, you know, going into the rest of today and especially this week. There is every chance that Bitcoin could launch another attempt at breaking resistance. And you got to remember as well, the more times it tests it, I mean, how many times has it tested it now? How many times? Look at that. So it tested it once, twice, but I mean, on this second time, it was just banging it for ages, wasn't it? Banged it once, twice, 3, 4, 5, 6. Banged it about 6 times, and this on the 4-hour time frame. So it was really banging it there. So once, twice, third time, fourth time, fifth time. That's 5 times that it's already tried the yearly open after falling below. So another one would be the 6th. And obviously the thing is, the more that it comes up here, obviously it should start eating away at that sell wall and resistance should start weakening. So, I mean, we can't speak in certainties, can we? But you would think the 6th time, you would hope that would be the one to push through. But I mean, this is at the moment like the indestructible force in it. Like the indestructible force, the barrier that shall not be passed. But I mean, the next time we get up there should be an interesting watch. I mean, yeah, that would be the 6th time of banging resistance. So we'll see what happens from that, of course, as well. Yeah, I mean, very, very volatile open, hasn't it? It's been a very volatile open. Make sure you have dropped a like on the video if you haven't. It is massively appreciated. Do drop a like, everyone. Will help me get out of YouTube jail too. Of course, as well. I hope you're looking forward to Christmas. 10 days away, a week on Thursday. So we're retracing now. We had a drop on open. We then had a $1,000 push back to the upside. And now we are approaching back to the downside. So quite strong whipsaw action on Bitcoin on US Open. Let's have a little look to see what Solana's doing. Yeah, I mean, again, I assume probably all of it looks very similar and all very whipsawy. But nonetheless, yeah, I mean, very nice. Very, very nice. Let me know in the chat. What are you guys expecting to the end of the year? Do you think we're going to go up? Do you think we're going to go down? Or do you think we just carry hanging around these kind of levels that we've got? Any hope to offer? What we're saying to the memes? Hey, I know what you want me to look at. You want me to look at this, don't you? You want me to look at this? I think we've seen it with memes, though, haven't we? And particularly like Fartcoin and Pengu and stuff like that. When just the ounce of positivity comes back into the market, we do see them take advantage. Now, I think when you've got memes like this that move typically very volatile, you know, Fartcoin, SPX, WIF, even as well, but particularly SPX and Fartcoin move very similarly. and very volatile in the market. These only need a little ounce of Bitcoin strength, and these fly, don't they? But I think kind of for overall, you kind of Pepe, you kind of Doge, your bigger ones. I think for these, you just need overall market strength. Obviously, these, for me, there's a very clear line between what trends with the market and what trends as a meme, even if it's a meme. So for me personally, I don't know about everyone else, but for me personally, things like Doge, Pepe, any of the other big ones move alongside the rest of the market rather than moving as a meme. So they'll move with obviously on Bitcoin's lead alongside the other big altcoins. They will move more, much more so with that rather than moving as a meme, where your smaller ones like Fartcoin, Pengu, any of the others that you want to put into that bracket as well, move very volatile with just a little ounce of strength. I mean, I think the thing is, just don't panic. I think if you're looking at it on the 5-minute chart or the hour or even the 4-hour, it looks a lot worse than it is. If you zoom out to the daily, you just see that Bitcoin at the moment has formed 2 trading ranges. You've got this one here, haven't we, which is the wider range, and then you've got this one here, which is formed obviously more recently, and that's it. That is it. So yeah, I think that's kind of what we've got with that. Jeff thinks sideways, but then again, mate, well, I mean, we'll see, won't we? We'll see. We might not get anything. We might just stay in this range until the new year, which might not be a bad thing, to be honest, because if we have any sort of push up into the end of the year, it could just get retraced, couldn't it? Going into next year, it could just retrace down like that. Whereas if we stay around here, going into the new year, we know that volatility is contracting, and at some point in the future, we'll get a very aggressive, expansive move. Now, if that's to the upside, then we could maybe get a continued push, perhaps to 100k, maybe even higher towards here. Who knows? I think that's kind of the more, in my opinion anyway, I think because we're so late on in December as well, really we would have probably wanted it to happen by now. It might not actually be a bad thing if we stick around within this kind of region into the new year. Then that obviously potentially gives the kind of look for reaccumulation, and then we potentially maybe break out to the upside then at the start of into the new year. Who knows though? I mean, that's just one aspect, isn't it? That's just one aspect, but yeah, I mean, we'll see. We'll see, won't we? Yeah, I mean, as for US Open, we've just not really had much, have we? We've not really had much. We just had, well, we're going back to the downside now. So obviously, this was US Open candle down. We had then a massive push up, and now we're actually carrying on to the downside. In my opinion, being fueled by the S&P. The S&P has been selling off aggressively since the turn of the Open. So I would probably say that it's more so the S&P dropping. I think that's driving this Bitcoin downtrend, low time frame. But yeah, thank you very much for everyone that watched today. If you haven't dropped a like, please do, because yeah, we are in YouTube jail, and hopefully we'll get out of that soon. But yeah, it's been a pleasure, and I'll be back on Wednesday. So yeah, make sure you come visit me on Wednesday again. I do obviously love having you guys with me, and of course look forward to tomorrow's video as well. I have got good videos going out Tuesdays and Thursdays. New style. If you haven't watched any of the new style ones yet, go and have a look. The past 2 uploaded ones. But yeah, you have a great rest of your day, and I'll catch you all on Wednesday. Bye bye.